Okay, so I got some more stuff that came in from AliExpress, Temu and Amazon over the last few days, and let's have a look at this one by one, what we have received. Okay, so first off we got this, and I've slit the packages open so I don't have to do that and cut myself. I saw this thing online. So this is what it is. A little fixture for holding small little controller boards like cell phones and what have you. So I have several different board holders, but they all have different purposes. I've got this one here, which works okay for some applications, and then I have this big one over here. But these things, they have plastic grippers there, and they tend to melt when you touch them with a soldering iron, and hot air would melt them. But this thing here is supposed to be resistant to heat because that's all that's in there. This is actually ceramic and metal, so you can actually mount your little board in there and nothing will melt. You can use hot air on it. It's all metal underneath and metal and ceramic at the top. So I should be able to mount little PCBs in there, like for instance this here. A little bit more space there. Yeah, just like that. Tighten it up, and you'd be able to, hold it, use hot air on it and what have you. So hopefully that'll work well. So I think for $16 it was not a bad deal, I don't think. Okay, so that's that. What's next? This thing over here is actually a thermometer that is actually meant to be for cooking, but I have one in the kitchen already and I really like this thing, so I bought another one and I'm planning to use it here in the shop as well. Even have a certificate of calibration and a serial number. It has lifetime warranty and it's only like $17.50 on Amazon, and it is very fast. Like it automatically turns on when you open it up like so, and of course it's got Celsius, which is what I use. Fahrenheit is not very useful to me. And you can kind of close it off and it turns off again. It's even got a bottle opener, but I don't think that I'll be using it for that. It's magnetic, so you can hang it on something. And I'm planning to use it, sometimes I use chemicals and I need to have them at a particular temperature, maybe 30 degrees Celsius or something, and I can actually, it's a stainless steel so it won't react to anything. I can use that to measure the temperature. Yeah, so there it is. $18, and I think that was a good deal. It is really quite good. Okay, next we have some interesting looking banana plugs here. Now banana plugs, open it up. kind of sturdy looking. That's why I bought them. I normally buy solid ones. They are nice and really tight, make a good contact, and they have a little screw in them here to tighten them up, and of course they have these. Well, you have to push it in there. I don't want to push it in there because I'd have to pull it out again. But they are also from, I found those on Amazon. Because I want to make some heavy duty leads. And these things can handle 32 amps, it says, high currents, which is what you need for, you know, power supply leads. So I got those. Now, just in case you're not aware, the Chinese sell these cheap, nasty, crappy banana plugs. They have little screws with them that goes in there, but the metal is thin enough that if you over tighten the screw a little bit, the threads will be gone. And also the hole is very large, so if you're wanting to use a smaller wire, you usually got to put little ferrules on it, so the screw doesn't even go right down. And they have this thing on there that twirls around, which doesn't actually make a great contact with the body of it, and it's just very poor quality stuff. But we're going to do something with this. I bought some hot solder pots. I'm going to dip these things in there so that the thing won't twirl around and make a good contact. And then if I use these, I will solder the wires to them, so I can probably still use them for some aspects. But these are not recommended. Don't buy those. Okay, what's next? We got some wires here. Actually, I should have some more stuff related to that. So, what I actually have is various sizes here and types of little audio plugs. These you don't see that often anymore nowadays. They are 2.5 millimeter ones, as opposed to, let's have a look. These are also 2.5 millimeters. These are just the little plugs. Somewhere I got some 3.5 millimeter ones as well. But oh, what is in here? Oh, there they are. I needed to stock up on some of these things. So these are actually audio ones, but they are 3.5 millimeters, and as you can see, these are just twin conductors, but they are 2.5 millimeters. And they used to be quite common in the old days, and I had only one left in my little supply. So I got this RFID reader, and it normally takes 4 AAA cells, but it draws about like 300 milliamps or something, so they won't last long. And besides, a device like this I won't be using very often, so I don't want to leave batteries in them. So I decided to modify it, and I put a little, there was not much room there, but just enough room for one of those little 2.5 millimeter sockets in there. I think these are actually 3.5 millimeters. Yeah, they're 3.5, but I've got some others that are 2.5 millimeters. So I put that in there, and I had one little 2.5 millimeter plug left in my supply, which I plug in there, and then I can just plug it into my bench power supply. So this is one use for this one. I realized that I didn't have much left in stocks. And another thing that I bought was 2.5mm banana sockets. I'm kind of getting keen on these things. They're just like 4mm banana sockets. You know, they take the normal banana plugs, but these are 2mm. So I've got black and red, and then I have little plugs to go with it. These are solder type plugs, and you know, they have the little housings, so these plug into there. So that's also good for some of projects that are coming up. And another thing I got is these guys. Goes away. I've got black ones and I've got red ones. These are little crocodile clips, and you know, the crocodile clips that normally you get on things, they are not so good. They don't grip wires very well, and they have these little rubber housings on them that usually slip off. And these guys here hopefully are better. And they have 2mm holes in them, so these little guys plug into them also, so I can make up some leads. And another thing that they do is, if you happen to have these, let me find some over here, there is one. If you happen to have these old-fashioned probes, they have these rather thick tips on them, but guess what? They are 2mm. They would actually plug into here, but they also plug into these crocodile clips, so you can actually plug them onto there and use them. So that's going to be handy for that as well. Now, I don't use these thick probes anymore, really. I use the needle-like ones, you know, like these. This is what I use, you know, for the circuit boards, for surface mount components and everything. They are small, and these are more suited for like electricians and automotive and sort of more heavy-duty stuff. But sometimes you want to connect something up and using a little crocodile clip, so this is where these guys come in. So I'm going to make up some leads with these little 2mm plugs on them. When I do, I'll have a little video on that so you see what I'm doing. So that's some other bits and pieces here that I got for that. This can go into the garbage. Yeah, so these little crocodile clips, they get from AliExpress. Of course, there'll be links in the description as usual. These are the banana plugs, the 2mm ones, and so on. Alright, next we have a USB cable. It claims to be 8K USB 4 cable, 40 gigabytes per second, 240 watts, BT 3.1, QC4, etc., etc. Okay. it seems to be what it is. USB 3 to USB 3 to 40 gigabytes, 240 watts. Must be all of $2.61. We'll be testing those cables at some stage and see how we go. So that's one. Okay, this one has got a little display on it, and this is the listing, $6.51. Probably because it has a little display. And then we have yet another one. Also comes in a little box. This one is a USB 3.2 cable, 10 gigabytes, also with a little display. I needed some more cables, and especially high-speed ones, so I just bought a few of these different ones, and if any good, I can order some more. Also claims to have PD 240, 8K video, 10 gigabits transfer. Now the other ones here, it says 40 gigabits data transfer. Comes from the same company, obviously. Yeah, same thing, little display. Take the film off. Alright. Oh, I might put these back in their little boxes. So when I'm testing them, I know for sure what I have. Okay, so I've got this cable plugged in, and it's just charging a little device right now, and it says 1 watt. It's nearly charged, so it's like 98%. 200 milliamps. 5.1 volts. So what happens if I plug it into a cell phone that can handle higher currents and voltages? 1.3 amps, 4.9 volts, 1.6, 8.8 volts. It's negotiating 14 watts. The cell phone says it's on turbo power. 1.4 amps, 8.9. That's like 9 volts. I think it had negotiated. Now I've got it plugged into an older PD device. It may only have 10 volts maximum or something, or 9 volt maximum. Okay, well, that'll be useful. I'll be able to check with this what it is doing, and I've noticed I've charged something before and it goes to 0 amps and 0 watts when it is fully charged. So you can tell when it's fully charged even if the device doesn't have an indicator on it. All right. Okay, next we got the collection here. All right, now these are actually RFID tags, stick-on ones. Let me tear one off here. Now if you look at them, it'll be hard to see unless I put it under the microscope, but there is a little tiny chip in there. And those works as a coil, picks up energy and read the little chip. So if I take an RFID reader, there we go. We've got, I can wind it up so you can actually see it. frequency 13.56 megahertz. Got a number on there, a UID, and so on and so on. And they can be programmed with information. And I'm going to be doing a thing on RFID, and so these will become a part of that. Put those aside. So let's have a look. That's what they are. 100 pieces of near field label tag sticker, 13.5 megahertz, ISO 4443A, and tag 213. That's the type stickers. So that is what they are. You can kind of see a little bit clearer there. See, there's a little chip there. And well, as I said, I'm going to do a video on this RFID stuff. They will be featured there. And next, okay, let's have a look what we have. Yes, some spare microcontrollers. The pins have poked holes through the bag, so it doesn't want to come out. Alright, so this is another one of those Esp32 S3 Room-1, and it's got two USB-C ports on it, so you can debug with them and stuff like that. But what got me interested in that is that it came with a little board that you can plug it into. Ah, there it is. Yeah, that's how it goes. So you plug it in like so. This is another one of those YD things. I already did a board file for it for Platform IO. I have a couple of others like that, but I was interested in this little board here. So you can actually got little screw terminals. You can connect things up. So I've got some projects coming up that will be handy. It'll be easier to use than a breadboard. So it was all of $2.33 for the, well, that's the little board alone, but I bought the I bought this one, $6.81, and I got the one with the extra 16 megabytes of RAM on it. So $6.81. Okay, so that's what that is. Yeah, so I've got this little kit over here. Some Allen keys, some little hitch pins and C-clips and sort of things. Little bars in there. A variety of nuts and washers. And little screws. Some more here. Some little rubber O-rings. And it has a variety of different little screws, but the ones that I was after specifically were these kind of things. Open sesame. I wanted those with the little recessed heads on them so that you can drill a hole and then they will mount flush, and that's what I wanted. And I thought the other stuff looked useful as well. I think that's a good little kit. Okay, so this is the little kit, $11.15. It's got all those hexagon round heads and flat heads, little O-rings, some hitch pins, washers of different descriptions, axle pin, whatever that is for, I don't know. But when I need it, I'll know where to find them. Okay, next we have another little ESP32 board with a microcontroller plugged into it. This one has mail pins that you can plug things in, and kind of useful because quite often they seem to supply these kind of DuPont leads with it, so they will plug into there. And it actually has a power supply on it, so you can feed in some power through that socket or one of those USB sockets, and you can select 3.5, 5 volts over there for different pins. So that will be useful as well. It's got a standard ESP32 chip on there, not a C3 or an S3. These are the original ones, and I believe the original ones have standard Bluetooth on it, not Bluetooth low energy, which can be handy sometimes because some devices do not accept Bluetooth low energy, if my memory serves me right. This here then is that other little board, 559 for the microcontroller, plus the little board with the power supply. And it does have a USB-C socket on there, but I don't know if that is just for power or what. I'll have to check that out. But it's got a DC 6.5 to 16 volts input socket as well, so I'll have to check that out. Okay, next we got some stuff that came in from Temu. Let's have a look. This one first. This is some sort of little spudgers or something. It piece function, CPU, pry knife, mobile phone, computer, chip disassembly, machine maintenance. They want to get every single word in there that you think you might be searching on. In any case, let's open it up and see what they are. They're just very thin stainless steel blades. I don't know, I thought they might come in handy for something, scrape things away or whatever. Little holes in it. Anyway, that's what they are. I'll put them in my spudger box. They're not really spudgers, they're more like little scrapers, or sometimes chips are glued down on the circuit board. You can probably heat these things up and stick them underneath the chips and melt the glue or something. Who knows? Okay, so much for that. Then we have something here, some little charger thingies. 5, 9 volts, 12 volts, 50 volts, 20 volts fast charge USB-C to DC power adapter, and cable, little So I presume if you plug this into a PD port, then you can select the voltages. Have a look. I thought they might come in handy for something. Oh, I see there's a display in there somewhere. Let me undo that and see what happens when I plug it into a power supply. 20 volts. Okay, so let me move the camera a little bit. So I've got it plugged into a PD port. Actually drawing 4 watts with no power. Anyway, 15, 12, 9 and 5 volts. And then it goes back up again. Seems to work on that one, and I guess you can plug these guys on there, then you got different sized connectors. Yeah, could be useful. Okay, so next we got these guys here. They are just little let me see, where's my USB-C cord? So you can plug a USB-C cord in there, and then you can actually also plug this into some devices or whatever. Some few different sizes. I thought they might come in handy too. That's what they are. Okay, what's next? My favorite tape. I love this stuff. I've got a bunch of rolls, and I got wire stuff, and I use this all the time now to strengthen things and cover stuff up, rather than the old-fashioned plastic electrician's tape that never seems to work very well. It comes off. This stuff, I've got another roll of it here. I think sometimes they call this Tesa Tape or something. It's really interesting, sticks to everything, and yet it's thin and it's cloth. So you can insulate stuff, and I love this stuff. Let's spare a roll of that. Okay, I bought this thing over here. I have some idea of using that for various things and making some additional grippers for it myself, with some flexible little ball joints in the future maybe. And this is it here. There's some a whole bunch of magnetic little standoffs. You can actually close that, and then you can plonk these on there. And I had ideas of, like, if you wanted to solder wires together or something like that, you could sort of these are not the kind of wires I'd be soldering, of course, because these are like DuPont pins on them, but you might get the idea. You could also hold little PCBs with it. They are rubber coated there. It's kind of nice. So I thought to myself, like, imagine if you needed to solder, and these things are bendable, you see. You needed to solder 3 wires together or something like that. You can, I figured, you could shed some light on it. I figured you could line them up and go for it. I think that might come in handy for stuff. But you could also use it to hold little PCBs. I'm sure I'll find a good use for those things. All right. Okay, so next we got an ELM327 OBD2 scanner. OBD2. And if we go to on AliExpress, $2.13. Bluetooth car diagnostic tool for Android, iOS, and some instructions with it. Supports iOS, Android, Windows, ISO 9141-2, and so on and so on. How to use: plug it in when the engines stop. Plug ELM327 into your OBD port in the vehicle. And application download. Now they reckon go to iPhone and do car scanner. I think I have found it on Android as well, even though that this is all talking about select the OBD2, Bluetooth, click device name, select OBD2. Return to main page, click connect, wait to connect. Anyway, that is that. Now with it came a little package with a little CD in it, but we'll have a look at that. But in the meantime, I found this car scanner here. There's install car scanner ELM OBD2, so I guess we will try that. There's others as well. ELM. So if this one doesn't work, I can always try one of the others, I guess. Alright, we will have to try that, not right now because I have to plug this into the car first. But the actual little CD that came with it, it's got this stuff on it and it looks like it's ancient. It says it was done in 2003, but apparently there's some Windows software here. This is the only one. According to this instructions, it says we suggest that you can use scan tool net 113 win. If you think that this software isn't easy to use, you can free to choose following software: Easy OBD2, OBD2 Spy, ScanMaster.elm, but them require a license. And the software is free of charge and can be distributed freely. You may not alter this software in any way. Easy OBD2 version 2.20 is distributed as is, no warranty. Anyway, this stuff on this little CD, looking at it, appears to be quite old. And if the Android software works, there's even an Android APK file here, but it's got Chinese in it, and I wouldn't trust any of this stuff. So I'll try it with my phone. It might work well. We'll have a look. Next we got some RFID stuff. I'm going to do a video on RFID. This is a 125 kilohertz RFID rewrite. These things have been around for a long time. Comes with a couple of 125 kilohertz tags, and you're supposed to take the looks like it needs some batteries. Yeah, 2 AAAs. But I'll be featuring this in a video on RFID that's coming up soon. On off switch, I think, and I think it's simple to use. You push the button to read, and then you hold another one there, and then you write. I think this has some plastic film on there. Yep. And then to use that, I have some. These are 13.5 megahertz ones, so that wouldn't work with that thing. Some RFID tags. They have sticky stuff on them, and you can mount these on things, and then you can scan them. But again, we will be looking at these things when we do the our RFID stuff. Okay, that's all we got for this video. It's getting too long already. I have some more stuff. I have an Anchor charging station and another little adapter and all sorts of things, some Atom stuff, soldering bits, but I'm going to do separate videos on those because this video is getting too long. And I'll see you guys later. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and all that kind of stuff. And I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.